So, skateboarding games as we knew it took a massive change and took massive leaps forward after Tony Hawk landed the 900. Now, what's the significance of that? Well, it turns out that he got a deal, and the deal was he got his own series of video games, and these series of video games would kind of mold into a trend in the 2000s, even bleeding into the 2010s, and honestly, some fabulous remakes. Because of that, there were also a lot of different other developers that were trying to take advantage of the trend and make their own game similar to this. Now, some were very successful, some were kind of hated, and some were just cult classics where if you got used to it and you were a fan of it, you found more people like you all around. But today, we're going to be talking about one that is consistently deemed the worst skateboarding game, and that is The Simpsons. Because why wouldn't it be a TV tie-in on top of it being a bad game? Alright, let's get into it. So after that dub of an opening, I mean, it's pretty interesting. It can kind of grab you in. So if you're a Simpsons fan and you see that, you could kind of be like, well, it looks like it would be fun, but trust me, it's not. So when you hit new game, you're immediately met with the character selection. I chose Bart because Bart makes the most sense for this game. I mean, he's the one that skateboards. You go to his stat set and it's all around. So, okay, I'm thinking that's a pretty good choice for the first set. You get a level select, which I'm like, okay, that's cool. You get an overview of the level. Then you get three choices: skill school, and then you get an objective screen, and then you get a timed contest. Now, if you're new to this, then it could kind of be confusing on how to traverse the menu screen. Okay, because you have one that's like you have money. You have one that says unlock levels and skaters. Then you have another one that's like you unlock boards. So really you could just be like, well, I want this, this, or this. And if you just don't know what you're doing, then you could be really lost on it. So you should always start with the skill school because you gotta be smart and stay in school.
Hurry, Bob.
Oops.
Now, when I tell you that you will fall and it will be annoying, and then when you go to stand up and get back on your board, you can lose speed. I had to get used to how terrible this game handles for this video. It is so backwards. If you're used to playing action sports games like skateboarding arcade games, then this is not for you. And this is how you know it's bad. This is a legitimate loading screen. Look at the very bottom. Don't oversteer. Quick taps. Okay, I don't know about you, but you should be able to have full control if you're gonna have an arcade style game. That's the whole point, is fluid motion. Mind you, the footage I'm showing you now is from Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. I mean, obviously, and I know that's going to be the comparison, but I'll throw in another game too. I will eventually. But this is from a previous generation, and it handles way better. Okay, for instance, right here, very beginning, you drop in, I crouch down, nothing. I have to ollie out, and because I hit the slope, I got momentum. There is no initial momentum, and you have to keep tapping forward to get initial momentum. Now, okay, that works in simulator games, but you're creating an arcade style game, so that breaks the cycle a little bit. And again with the falling, I mean, I cleared that kickflip, you can see it right here, but nope, fall. Hit a rail, you fall. You do a grind, you fall. You try to go into a half pipe, you fall. You fall, you fall, you fucking fall. And that's the whole game, is you fucking fall. And honestly, most of that roll footage was from the tutorial section. You know, the part that's supposed to teach you about how to play the game? Yeah, that's it. So right now we're in the competition setting, and I've picked up a few things. I've learned the game's shittiness enough to go ahead and adhere to it. So basically there's no revert, you can just manual out of the air and you lose speed going up the half pipe. Again, that's just a personal gripe, but it is what it is. Another personal gripe is you only have 4 directions to trick. You have up, down, left, and right. So gone are the directional buttons, I guess, because it was just easier to program for, which I understand. I'm not a game developer, so I'm not going to shit on it too much, but I do think that if you're going to go ahead and make a game of this caliber and use what you're using, you should try. I mean, this just is like an inherent cash grab, and that's all it is. But again, I adhere to the game's shittiness, and I'll tell you what, I placed gold because I studied and mastered the art of shit foo, and it felt horrible. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say it felt great to learn it, because it didn't. Everything was a raging fucking piece of shit. And not only that, I was so excited because I'm like, okay, we can unlock new stuff, we can unlock new things because we just got a lot of money because we placed, right? Right? No. You know what happens? You accept it and you get 85 fucking cents. Like, just kick me in my fucking balls right now. Are you fucking serious? But anyways, I move on. I start doing the objectives, and I'm having a little bit of a difficult time, and I can't understand why, because I'm like, okay, well, we just placed the competition, like, I have to be learning something. Well, it turns out if you go into the pause menu, you can actually go into the shop and buy your stats. So, I stat up, and I just go for basic all-around stats, because I'm like, we're gonna need a little bit of everything. And believe me when I tell you, this is the worst part of the game. Like, this is like where the culmination of everything comes to a head, a dickhead at that. Alright, so here I will try to give them the benefit of the doubt, or at least, you know, give them any type of props. So what they did for the objectives is they created a whole area like they did with Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, and you had a list of objectives, or you had like level screens that you had to get to. And what you'd do is you'd initiate one of them and then a time limit would start. The problem is the execution fucking sucks. For instance, instead of skate, you have to get the letters for Skinner. But the collision for the letters absolutely is atrocious. So if you're playing a shorter character, you cannot grab some of these letters without hopping around like a maniac. But if you're a taller character, it still passes right through. You have to ollie up to get it, because there is a certain point of your character's body that needs to hit that letter, and it will drive you up the wall. There's also collectibles, but unfortunately, it's not any fun to try and get these collectibles because your character moves like a slug full of mud and ass and shit, and it's terrible and it sucks. This whole game just sucks, and it makes me want to have a lobotomy. It makes me want to have my brain taken out and studied for scientific research to wonder why I put myself through this. But aside from that, there are also other challenges you can do in each level to try and, you know, make your way through. But I absolutely could not take it. Between the controls, between everything else, I just couldn't bring myself to fully finish the game. I only got part way through before I'm like, okay, that's good, we're fine. And the best I did was on the first level, so that's what you're seeing most of, is the challenge levels, the beginning challenge levels and all of that, and Springfield itself, because I can't do it. I just can't do it. Now, I did mention there were other games that did it better. Yeah, you have Grind Session, you have this, which is on screen right now, which is Evolution Skateboarding, which is kind of like a cult classic. If you like it, you like it, and if you don't, you hate it. I mean, it's either one or the other. Either you've had a good time with this game or you just can't stand it. But for me, I love it. and I think that everything runs smooth for what you're supposed to be accomplishing. But, oh my god, I am so glad that I stopped playing that when I did. I was getting a really bad headache. But anyway, aside from that, I do think it had a lot of potential. I do think it could have gotten off the ground and been something that could have been a lot of fun to pass down time. There are plenty of TV show or even movie video games that are really fun and are much more than just something to pass the time with. And I feel like that's what they were trying to accomplish, was just something to pass the time with, and it wasn't even good at that. So with that, everybody, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all, and 1K game. Let's go. You fall, you fall, you fall, you fucking fall.
You fall, you fall, you fall, you fucking fall.
And that's the whole game, is you fucking fall.